This is nuts. Welcome back, everybody, to Chicky and Pete's. What a night this is. Very special night. The man of the hour has just arrived and is walking now onto our set. Ladies and gentlemen, the owner of the Philadelphia Soul, John Bon Jovi! Oh, my goodness. And with John, to his right, is the head coach of the Soul, Mr. Michael Trigg. How you doing, Mike?
Doing fine, thank you.
Mike, I was just saying to Michael, Mike, we're really passengers on this car. You said, get used to it if you're around John, right?
You get a 3 or 4 day taste of the entourage. It's something else.
John Bon Jovi, it's an honor to have you here.
I'm glad to be here, man. Thanks a lot,
Do you
people of Philadelphia?
All right, John, first question is an obvious one. You're a rock superstar. You have a great acting career going right now. Why in the name of God would you want to own a sports franchise in the toughest sports town in America, Philadelphia?
It's a great sports town, that's why. It's Philadelphia. I've had a long-standing relationship with the people here. I recorded one of my albums here. We've played here every tour for every record. We've always hung out in the Philly and Jersey area. And arena football was really made for this town. The people here are so passionate about the game, more than baseball, basketball, and hockey. They love football. And we're here to complement that and their relationship with the Eagles.
Obviously. Well, from what I understand, and Michael, you've been in the community. Tremendous early response to arena football in Philadelphia, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, John reiterated the fact this is a football town.
Right.
People are excited about it, but one of the things that sold me on the position that he talked about was we wanted to bring back that element of having the pro sports player in the community, being accessible, being around everybody, and not only just that, but also being active in the community and taking an active role with kids and just try to complement what goes on in pro sports and football and make it fun and exciting for everybody and affordable.
Hey, John, one of the things that's kind of amazing about this is that this is a great football town anyway. But having John Bon Jovi as the advanced man for a season is a unique situation.
Yeah.
How can you use your popularity and then swing it over to arena football in the Philadelphia Soul?
Well, really what it comes down to, as Michael was saying, was the community relations. That's what's going to differentiate us from what are the minor league sports and where the major four are. You know, they have their programs, but in all honesty, the pro athlete these days is too busy in a year-long workout situation, in their certain sponsorship situations, and they become removed from the community.
Right.
You know, I know that the band, we become very isolated. You play big stadiums, you're in and out of there before anyone sees you, talks to you. They don't get near you the way we used to get near you. It's been a lot of years since we've played in a bar. You know, we're playing stadiums. People are 30 yards away from me in the closest seat. So, you know,
this is something you're not really used to anymore,
it's been
right?
a long, long time.
Right. Well, how the heck are you going to... You're going to need a posse of security people everywhere you go, aren't you?
We don't need security.
No?
You know, honest to God, people have been so great. They've been so great embracing us here in the community that's what's going to... It's going to be great because we're really getting involved in that, in doing things with the boys' clubs and the girls' clubs in the community.
John, we want to show a little footage of you performing as a rock star, and I want you to ask you how you will take your ability to entertain as a showbiz guy. Can you incorporate some of what you do in selling your sport, arena football?
Yeah, it's
like
entertainment. How? You know, well. This is called, it's electric football. There's a great entertainment aspect. The way minor league baseball lets the kids down on the field and they're running around the base paths and they get to know those players. Well, I'm going to take what we do and the bigness of what we do in stadium music, and I'm taking the city of Philadelphia nationally. When you have a name, the Philly Soul, people attribute the musical style relates directly to me, and then you've got the community being appreciated by the owners worldwide. You know, people from Japan to Europe to all over Australia are buying Philly Soul shirts. They're going to be more aware of the sports scene in Philadelphia.
Absolutely. Now, Michael, one of the things that you have to do between now and February, when the season starts, is get a team together, right?
True.
Now, can we show a little bit, if people are not that familiar in Philadelphia, what the product is? It's a very fast-moving, exciting game. And what you guys were telling me today earlier was, these are all Chuck Bednareks you're looking for, right, Michael? Two-way players.
They certainly are, and it's hard to find in this day and age. Most players stay on one side of the ball, and maybe where we earn our money is to find a guy that has the defensive complement, who's an offensive player, and vice versa. Right. We need quickness. We need guys that are really good athletes, but bottom line, they have to be very good football players.
Right.
But you can't take track guys and win in this league.
All right, well, this is one of the reasons we wanted you guys here, because Saturday, the dream of every frustrated young athlete is to play a profession, and they're going to have a chance with you guys, right? Can you guys tell me what's going to happen in this downside? Here's a little bit of the information. It's going to be at Temple University, Giese Field, and that's going to be from 7 a.m. probably for quite a while there, right?
It is. We're going to kind of give them the standard combine test, see how fast they are, how quick they are.
Right.
And then we're going to have them do some football drills and find out who some athletes are. Cull it down to a few, bring them back to a secondary workout, and hopefully offer some contract to some people that are just here and we don't know about them, and have the ability to play professional football.
I'll tell you, Michael, I think Eagle fans can relate to this, because tonight on Monday Night Football, they will see Clinton Hart,
certainly,
who was in the Arena Football League a couple of years ago, right?
He was. And a lot of our players are on that fringe, is what we call it, 0 to 3 year NFL players, just looking for that opportunity to keep their career alive. We certainly want to take the best available player, and we think that's where they are.
I know. Now, are there any age limits on what you're looking for? What exactly, describe for us the kind of player you'd be looking for right now?
Well, we certainly encourage any athlete that has collegiate ability left to use that and exhaust it to the end. We'd rather have guys that are out of college, 22 and beyond, but there are certain cases where a guy's a little bit older and maybe he didn't do as well as he would want to in college, and he still has a lot of ability. We'll certainly take a look at that, but we would rather that they finish their collegiate eligibility before we touch them.
Right. Now, John, I asked you this earlier today, but you were a pretty darn good athlete yourself in your day, right?
Well, not really, but, a sandlot athlete. Yeah, sandlot.
Right.
I knew I had no future in football.
Right.
Weighing 160 pounds and, being slow as I was. But I love the game. I love the game. I've always loved football. It's the sport for me.
Right. Like, I probably shouldn't say this with all these people, but you're a fan of the Giants. Is that right, John?
I'm a Giants fan.
So you're like in mourning today, right?
Yeah, take my licks around here. As long as we both despise the Cowboys, I'm okay.
All right. Now, we got the actual schedule for the Soul this year, and tickets are still going to be available. And you're going to be at a lot of the games, right, John?
I'll be at every game.
So, girls, if you... John's going to... Oh, my gosh. Why did I do that? Can we show the schedule up here? We got the schedule here. The opener is on the February 8th, and it should be a lot of fun. These are going to be the home schedule. You'll be there. Most of these games, one of these games, Michael, Sunday, Saturday, a little bit of both?
All of our games are on Saturday and Sunday. It just depends on whether we're being carried by NBC or we're not.
All right, now I want to know, what do you see, John, as the long-term, what's your long-term vision for the Philadelphia Soul?
I think that it's twofold. It's for the fanatic like me who goes into mourning post the Super Bowl.
Right.
And it's for the young kid who's just learning the game. And in this video age where they're playing their video games and they're on a computer all day long, my 8-year-old, he goes to a pro game, but they're so far away. The field's very big. He's distracted by the concession stand. This game, they're right on top of it. They get to go down on the field and meet the players. They get to interact with those players. Right from the day of our first pep rally, which is a week prior to our first game, they're going to have a relationship and know that quarterback and know those players. I think that all of those things long-term are just going to help the seed that's been planted in Philly with the football fanatic have 16 more weeks of football to root for.
Right. Can you, though, as a guy that's known as an entertainer, can you be an owner? Can Michael, if he loses 3 in a row and you call him into the office and you go, Michael, what the heck is going on here? Our team's losing. Can you do that and be a guy?
You see the size of this guy? No, but you know what? One thing that both Craig Spencer, my partner, and I realized a long time ago is we drew the line in the sand. We're not going to get involved in the football operations. I know better than that. I know every other aspect of a business, but I don't know how to run a football organization. You leave it to your coaching staff. You leave it to your players. As long as we have good quality guys on the field, and more importantly, off the field, we'll have a winning product.
Right,
and I'm not going to get in this. God forbid, we lose every game. It might happen. We're an expansion team.
Right.
I know that he's going to put together a quality organization that I know will represent the city proudly.
Right. Michael, is there a chance in recruiting players for the Soul that you look into Eagle players of the recent past who still might have it as a bridge from the NFL to the AFL?
Well, we certainly do. One of our first acquisitions we had in the expansion draft was Brandon Davis, who was in camp with the Eagles. You know, a lot of these guys, let's go back 15 years. If you didn't make your first initial run in the National Football League, you had to retire and you were done. Your opportunities were so small and limited. Now there's NFL Europe. There's still the CFL out there, but arena football actually employs about 800 guys, and you almost have 10,000 college seniors that come out every year. So there's certainly athletes that can play and didn't necessarily get their right timing or their right opportunity. The poster boy of arena football is Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Kurt Warner went to Green Bay as a free agent in 1994. He ran into Brett Favre, Mark Brunell, Ty Detmer. You know, to make that squad really tough.
That's very good.
And a lot of times those opportunities don't present themselves. Take Clinton Hart.
Right.
If he didn't have the injuries in the secondary in Philadelphia, he may have been released. You just never know. But now he had his chance, made a name for himself, and that's what we're trying to do. We want to be competitive with those players.
Right.
If they've been with the Eagles or they've been to this part of the country collegiately, we certainly would like to find that.
So, Mike,
the best
you're
player
in charge of the people. Now, there's one thing, and you told me, John, that you're not going to be involved in picking players, obviously. But you are going to be involved in other aspects of the operation, like the soulmates.
Yeah.
The girl. Now,
right,
this is something.
I'll work
John
in
Bon
cheerleader
Jovi knows a little bit about women, I'm going to guess. Do we have? And the soulmate girls. Now, you want to write this down because this is the cheerleader team, right? And on Saturday, November 23rd, at Borgata Hotel Casino and Spa, 10 a.m., all the girls will be out there. And if I know anything about the way you're going to do that, John, it's going to have a little sauce and a little sass and a little excitement, right?
Two beautiful prospects right there. Two young ladies.
All right, John, I got to add one last thing, and then we got a couple people out there. What is this like everywhere you go? This is your life, is it not?
It doesn't stink, Ange. It doesn't stink.
I mean, honestly, you never just go, I need a day off from being John Bon Jovi.
No, it's a good job if you can get it. No, it's good work. It's good work.
Like, do these girls follow you everywhere you go?
You know,
what a deal.
It's all icing on the cake. You know, you got to write good songs. You got to be a good performer, and that's what we've done for 20 years.
Obviously, you have, or you wouldn't have the following you do. Sean Murphy's out there with fan feedback by Steven Tigger. Sean, you got a fan of John's?
I do indeed, Angelo. I have Chicky and Pete's finest hostess right here. This is Kara. And Kara has a question for John. Kara, go ahead.
Hi, John. How are you?
Hi, Kara.
You've been doing movies and records for a really long time now. How does this compare to what you're used to?
Well, this is very different. It's very, very different. You know, I'm just a football freak, so this is, for me, a lot of fun, but it's a lot of hard work, and it has nothing to do with how I write a song or act in a film. It's very different. It's running a place like Chicky and Pete's. You know, it's a business now. It has nothing to do with being musical or acting abilities. It's very, very different.
And, John, this is more work being the owner of a franchise than you thought of, right?
Much more than any record or movie I've ever been a part of.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. It's so time-consuming. I mean, I saw you first thing this morning, and it's been nonstop. We haven't had 10 minutes off since.
All right, and you actually, I mean, are you going to be able to maintain the level that you've had in your other careers and do this job, too?
Well, we have a new record that came out on Tuesday. My record company hate me because I won't do any promotion for it. I'm too busy on the team, you know.
The name of the album is?
This Left Feels Right.
Yeah, I got to know that. And tomorrow, you're out in the community, too, I'm being told.
Right.
What's that about?
The players are going to be going around all this week, making their presence known throughout the community from here to Jersey. But the band are doing what's called an in-store appearance, something that we haven't done since the mid-'80s. And I wouldn't even consider it because they could become security risks, you know, not for so much for me, but for people that are crushing or crowding or trying. And we really try to make sure we take care of those fans all the time. But in part of our being a part of this community is they come out and meet the players. And by the way, Richie Sambora's in town, Tico's in town, Dave's in town. You know, and the band will all be here.
And if you want, bring Heather Locklear by.
Okay, I'll bring her over to the station.
John, I got to say, you know, I've met you a couple of times. You're a gentleman, you're a class act, and if anybody is going to make arena football work, it's going to be John Bon Jovi. Thank you very much for doing this. Class act, John Bon Jovi, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, Lambeau